Hello and welcome to another episode of Under a Rock with Brielle and Guerlain.
Ooh, spooky.
Today is our Halloween episode. I dressed up. Guerlain did not because he's a poopy head.
Listen, my closet is very bland. Okay, I only dressed up for Halloween once ever in my life. It's just not that I don't want to. Just never thought to. Yeah.
Whatever. I dressed up for the both of us. I'm Mavis from Hotel Transylvania, for those who are watching. Yes, but today we are actually talking about our favorite Halloween cartoon specials from when we were kids.
Mhm.
So we're talking about the Jimmy Neutron special, the Fairly Odd Parents special, the Rugrats Halloween special, as well as Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Codename Kid Next Door, regular show, and then we might round it out by talking about SpongeBob.
All right.
Which is a classic. We've both seen SpongeBob, so
Yeah.
it's not.
Some talk is way too iconic.
Yeah,
just to
for
be
us to not have seen it. Yeah. The thing that what I noticed is I don't have my notebook today. I didn't write down any notes because I was just so entertained. I totally forgot to pick up my notebook and start writing stuff down because watching these shows just brings back so much nostalgia. Really, really does. I remember being a little kid and watching the Rugrats Halloween show and laughing at Fairly Odd Parents and stuff like that. It was just very all of the stuff that we've been watching over the course of this podcast. For the ones that are me, I definitely do have nostalgia for it, but these ones, it was right in the face.
Like all the memories just hit you back
Mhm.
when because let's see when. Well, first for those who don't know, Brielle is more of a Nickelodeon kid,
Yeah, I was more of a Nickelodeon kid.
and I'm more of a Cartoon Network kid.
Mhm.
So all the Cartoon Network shows is on my side, on the Nickelodeon shows on her side.
Right.
So when it comes to Rugrats, I want to say that aired like 1996, 7, late 90s,
Something
or
like that. I don't know the exact day, but it was early to mid 90s.
do you so when that special aired, you was in elementary school, right?
Probably, yeah. I was
Does
pretty young.
so does that bring back any type of memories of coloring stuff in school and then going back home and watching these specials, or
Um, Not necessarily. I have very specific memories of Halloween during school. I remember doing the little Halloween parade where all the kids would walk around the school and their parents would come and take photos.
right?
But and I have memories of watching these specials, but I don't have memories of them together.
Mm,
So I feel like it was probably one of those things where it was just randomly on TV and I sat down and watched it. I don't know if it was one right after the other.
gotcha.
But I do. I remember I have such vivid memories of seeing all the babies stick their tongue out and their tongues are green,
Mm.
which how cool is that? I want a Reptar bar. I really want to try a Reptar bar. How do they do it? How do they make it green?
What does the green taste like?
Sugar probably.
From?
just nothing but processed sugar. It's so funny though to watch Rugrats as an adult, which I'm not the first person to say this about the Rugrats, but they are not good parents.
No.
They are really yes, the babies are in a playpen, but no one's watching them. It's not like they're in a swing and they literally can't move or go anywhere. They're in a playpen with 3 other babies. They could very easily get hurt. And no one's watching them. No one is ever watching them. And they're just able to leave the house. The doors just open for them. It's crazy to me. When you think about Rugrats, all of the adventures they get into as a kid, it's hilarious. It's cool. It's fun to watch. But as an adult, I'm that's terrifying.
Mm.
Dee Dee and Stu are terrible parents. They need to watch their children.
All Dee Dee watches is a bunch of Dr. Limpchin.
Dr. Lipschitz, yeah, she
Lipschitz
reads all the
videos.
baby manuals, but she doesn't actually watch her own kids. Or she'll leave grandpa, and grandpa will just immediately fall asleep, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Obviously because it's a TV show, everything turns out fine. The babies are fine, but
I'm gonna go on a limb and say this. I don't like Rugrats. Like, I know a lot of people like hold it near and dear to their hearts,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't necessarily enjoy the show. Like I think I see the appeal of it,
Mm-hmm.
but even when I was younger watching it, I was just like,
Right. That's
like
okay. You don't have to like it.
hmm,
I mean, I really like Rugrats, one because I always thought it was funny, but also because and this is like kind of sad. Like Rugrats was kind of the first like Jewish representation I ever got
hmm,
like on television. So like, you know, those Hanukkah and Passover special are very very like special to me.
hmm.
Um, so I think that's why I love Rugrats the way that I do. You know, I mean, I can definitely understand why someone wouldn't like it. Like, I'm sure that the voices get kind of grating and some of the situations that happen are a little like ridiculous, but I like it. And you know, you can't like everything. I mean,
Yeah,
personally, like, I like, even though I enjoyed the Halloween special, I don't really like regular show. Like, I've seen other episodes of it and I'm not a fan. So,
hmm,
you know, give and take.
yeah. But this special the episode was pretty good. I always wondered how Angelica was able to understand the babies, even though she's a toddler, and what her her parents can understand her. Everyone can understand Angelica, but no
Mhm.
one can understand the babies. But Angelica can understand the babies, but they're both speaking English.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of because like Angelica's a toddler, like she's still in that in between stage between like a child and a baby. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but I love how she she goes on a whole commercial
Yeah, for the
for
candy
for
bar.
Reptar. It's like this is what advertising to children does.
Yeah.
We remember the songs, we remember um the bright lights and the melodies that they come up for these
Mhm.
commercials. This is why the FCC put in a lot of stuff to block this from happening.
Yeah.
Clearly, it didn't catch Angelica
Yeah.
because she's brainwashed to the Most High.
I also really like when Grandpa was like, "We had to walk 15 miles to go trick or treat."
The classic old
Oh
people
man, yeah.
exaggerating shit.
Yeah. No, I like Rugrats. Um, so there was that one, and then we watched the Fairly Odd Parents Halloween special,
Mm.
which I always really liked Fairly Odd Parents. Not in the later seasons, unfortunately, because I feel like at some point it just got too much.
Mm.
But in the first like maybe like 4 seasons, it was really good. Fairly Odd Parents. So this episode I really like because Guy Moon, who does the music for Fairly Odd Parents, he always makes such great songs.
Yeah.
Like every time in a Fairly Odd Parents episode where there's like music or it's like a musical kind of episode, the songs are always so good. It really is impressive.
Yeah.
You know, like the song in the episode Real and Scary is like kind of like thriller inspired, but there's like a little bit of like a jazzy thing to it. Like it's a good song.
The bass was slapping.
Yeah, right?
On
Guy
this.
Moon knows what he's doing when
Yeah,
it
he
comes
does.
to writing music. It's really cool. Um I also just I love like Fairly Odd Parents is just so ridiculous like all the time. Like the kids come to his house and they have like really awesome costumes and his parents are like, "Here, take all of Timmy's stuff."
Take his life savings.
Yeah.
Any CDs.
Yeah.
Like, damn, his parents are awful.
Yeah, his parents are kind of ridiculous and terrible too, which is, I feel like that's par for the course with children's cartoons
Mm.
because if their parents were good, they wouldn't be able to like go off on these adventures or anything like that. But yeah, his parents are terrible. They're not good parents.
I love how his parents are each other for
Yeah.
Halloween, and he's just like, well, I'm gonna need a whole bunch of therapy for this. Like, damn, to me.
Yeah. I also really like that the aliens, the Yugopotamians, come down because I just love Mark. I think he's such a funny character. He's like a California surfer dude. Road trip.
Road trip. Vicky, my love.
Vicky, my beloved.
And the rich kids just get everything that they want.
Yeah.
That's what I really didn't like about this special.
Yeah.
Was-
It hit too close to home.
What do you mean?
Like that the rich just get richer and they're just
Yeah.
terrible people.
And they didn't face any type of consequence.
No, they really didn't.
Everyone got a happy ending.
Yeah.
They didn't deserve a happy ending
Yeah.
because they got everything that they wanted.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And then there's the Jimmy Neutron one,
Mhm.
which I always really liked Jimmy Neutron. I thought it was like, looking back on it, it's such a clever show. There's a lot of jokes in there for adults, like for the parents watching. Like as a kid, maybe I didn't get them, or maybe I just thought they were just baseline funny, but like some of them are really clever.
Mhm.
Like some of the jokes that the adults have, especially in this episode. So like when Jimmy is like spinning the wheel and he's like, "Oh, you can be like the Frankenstein monster." And Sheen goes, "Frankenstein." I died because that's a reference to Young Frankenstein, which is one of my all-time favorite Halloween movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And like this episode is really cool because it pays homage to like all those classic villains. So like when Carl is like, "Children of the night," like that's a Dracula thing. And
Mhm.
when the guy is playing the violin on top of the like candy place, and like he was like, ooh, like running around like the monster. That's from the original like movie of Frankenstein. Like the violin like soothes the creature and everything.
Okay.
And the whole thing with Miss Fowl where she's like, "Even a man who says his prayers by night." Like that's from the original Wolfman movie. So like Jimmy Neutron like really pays homage to what they're talking about, which I always like.
Hmm. I just one thing that puzzled me was like, what's so scary about Michael Jackson?
I know that's a product of its time. That's a product of its time.
I was like, damn, why'd he do that to Mike for?
It's a product of its time when the show was made. Um,
When they were in the kitchen and no, was it the kitchen? No. It was when they were outside and Sam is on top playing the violin.
yeah,
Uh, when Jimmy's mom comes and he's like, "You Neutron, blah 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 blah," and he like swoops her up and everything. She's like, "This isn't our Rumble night." I
yeah.
was like, "Whoa!"
This isn't our like rumble lesson or something.
I was like, "Okay."
I also really like when Sam is like, "We need an angry mom, so get torches and silver and a redheaded woman named Tessie." And it's like, why do you need a redheaded woman named Tessie? Because I'm lonely.
Poor Sam.
Like that's what I love about Jimmy Neutron, that it has all these ridiculous little one-liners that they just throw in.
Hmm.
It was so, oh man, it was funny.
Or how they had Carl, like when he started bleeding and he's just like sucking his finger. It was like, it's better than Purple Flirt. You guys gotta try it. Like he went in. He's like, I was like, whoa, okay.
So funny. I love it. It's so funny.
And a lot of things that could have like been taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
If you look at it weird. Like how he was like the Cindy, your neck looks good. And she's
Yeah.
like, my neck. Hey, what's good? What's good with you? Bro?
And like when Sheen is to Livy, when he's like, "You're made of meat," and she's like, "Yeah, if you want to get gross about it."
Or even when they meet Jimmy in the alleyway and he was like, "Yeah, I bet Libby." And Libby's like, "We're just good friends." I was like, okay.
That's why I love Jimmy Neutron, because it has that type of humor, you know?
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, those were the Halloween shows of my childhood.
and on my side,
Yeah.
I mean there was a few. I picked these 3
Mhm.
because I thought these would be the most tolerable for you.
Oh, well, thanks.
Because I felt like if I had chosen Ed and Eddie and Billy and Mandy, that probably would have been a little bit too much.
I
Because
mean, I could have handled probably an episode, but
Ed and Eddie, like it heavily relies on slapstick,
yeah.
which is funny.
Yeah.
But in the Halloween special, they go
Oh, they go really hard. Oh, okay.
yeah. And Billy and Mandy, it's just a whole lot of gross out humor.
Yeah. Yeah. Billy and Mandy was always kind of gross out, which is probably one of the reasons that I didn't like it. I don't really like gross out humor.
Hmm.
But the episodes that you picked were really good. I
Yeah.
mean, one thing that I thought was crazy was Mark Hamill was in the regular show episode and in the Codename Kid Next Door episode.
Well, with Mark is
Hamill is like the voice of our childhood.
oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's a regular on regular show.
Oh, is he?
He skips
Which is Skips?
the white ape.
The White Ape. Oh, okay.
So,
I didn't know that because I heard him with the Wizard,
Yes,
but I didn't necessarily hear him with with Skips.
you could clearly hear him with the wizard. Like,
Yeah,
full on.
that was his
Joker.
voice. Yeah, that was his like Joker voice.
Who was he in Codename Kids Next Door?
He's Captain Stickybeard. He's the pirate.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I was like, I was like watching, and I was like, that voice sounds really familiar. Quick to Google, like, and yeah, it's the
He's
same guy.
Sticky Beard.
Yeah,
So this man is Fire Lord Ozai.
yeah.
Sticky Beard. Who else?
The Joker.
The Joker. I know there's another.
I mean, Luke Skywalker. I mean, if you want to just.
Well, I'm not Star Wars. But I guess, yes, part of childhood. Good for you, Mark. Man.
Yeah.
This is like, well, all of these are like burned in my head when it comes to Halloween.
Yeah.
Because all I did was watch Cartoon Network and Disney Channel too.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about Disney.
Yeah.
So when it came to the Codename Kids Next Door episode, I was rooting for number 4, man.
Yeah.
'Cause I even though number 1 was my favorite character, him and number 5, but when they all ganged up on him and saying, "You're not gonna get the candy," I was like, you know what? You show him.
Yeah.
You show all of them that you're gonna get the candy.
I always really liked number 3, and I always liked number 4. I love number 4. I thought he was so funny. The episode was really funny just because, like, man, all that property damage of the pirate ship going through the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what they do not care.
They do not care. I remember that so clearly about Kids Next Door. There's like explosions all the time, and things get crashed, and like no one cares.
And you would think like someone would call the cops.
Yeah.
Like there's a pirate ship driving through our neighborhood,
Yeah.
and you would think like the casualties.
Yeah.
They don't bring it up because
No.
it's a consequence-free world
Yeah.
with Kids Next Door.
I mean, Kids Next Door is just a really interesting concept. It's a really interesting concept of like a bunch of kids, and they're like sort of like secret agents mixed with like almost like a not a police force, but they like fight bad guys and stuff, and the bad guys are adults, and like they're kind of like evil adults. Like regular adults are the enemy, but like these are evil adults, and like it's just and like it's so expansive and wide. Like it goes up to like number 78 and stuff. Like there's a lot of kids involved in this. It's just really interesting, and they go to space. Like
Yeah, and you would. There's a theory is like none of this is real.
I mean,
It's like all a part of number 2's imagination. Apparently, I don't know why specifically number 2, but that's a theory that's going around. But I believe everything actually happened.
yeah, I mean it's fun.
Yeah, these are smart kids, except for number 4. And I love how like number 4 he gets. It shows that like he's dumb, but he's also pretty clever.
Yeah, I mean,
How like he tricked them into like getting him back onto the ship,
yeah,
but then he just takes his bag and he
and
just
then,
leaves.
and then he has to go back.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
But then he goes back again and he tricks himself back
yeah,
onto it.
again, and he
Um,
wins the bet.
he wins the bet.
And then there was the second episode, which was like a zombie kind of themed episode. And like it's something that I thought was weird is like, so nerds are sort of like an enemy of the kids next door, but like they're kids too. So I don't understand why they're not all like working together.
No, nerds, they're not enemies. It just so with Candy, a lot of kids they have their types.
Yeah.
So you got the nerds, you got the jocks, you got gamers, 2x4, the technologists. You have all of them. So they're all kids. It just when you piss a certain type off, things happen.
Yeah.
Like if you
They
piss,
turn into zombies.
so yeah, in this case, they turn into zombies. If you piss off a jock, he turns into like this bully. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not like they're against them. It's just
Okay. I also like the little like reference to Doctor Who. I thought that was funny.
what was the
At the end when they're making them watch the television show.
oh, that's what that was. I thought it was like
Yeah,
Star
it's a
Trek.
reference to Doctor Who.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dexter gets a little cameo. Dexter's Lab.
Oh yes, I did see that. I did. Yeah, I did get that.
Always thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And when I first watched this, I thought number 2 and number 78 had a thing.
Yeah, that's what I
Was-
was thinking too.
It was
But nope, it was a game
it
card.
was a game card. And it was kind of like in the show that number 5 and number 2 had a thing.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that number 3 and number 4 had
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah. Well, as much as a thing as they could have as kids, but yeah.
So when so I thought number 5 was like jealous the entire time. Like, go ahead and get your girlfriend and let's get out of here. Speaking of which, I love Cree Summers. She's the
Yeah.
voice of
Yeah, she's a voice of our childhood too. She
Yep.
was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a fun episode. You know, I something that I love about Kids Next Door is just the creativity that everything around them is like built with, like all their machinery and stuff. Like the gun was like sardines, like it's just the other gun was like salsa. Like it's so silly. It's so childlike. It's very clever.
And it's everything that a kid could get their hands on.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
is maybe good, maybe bad.
Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. And then Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did not remember what Max sounded like. When he started talking, I was like, that's Mac's voice? Like I I remembered very clearly what Blue sounded like, what Wilt sounded like, what the girl, whatever her name is, Frankie sounded like I had their voices in my head. Mac threw me for a loop. I was like, oh shoot, I did not remember that he sounded that way.
His voice was different. I think it's the same actor. It's just he aged.
Oh, maybe that's why I misremembered it.
So it's either the two things. So I'm not sure if they changed or it's just he
got
aged.
older. Yeah. I love in Foster's Home because it's made by the same person. There's a lot of references to Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Like Blue dresses up as Mojo Jojo, and like Frankie and like another imaginary friend are dressed up as like Blossom and Bubbles. Like
I like how he came. He was like, Frankie, have you seen my bow? I knew I should have been Bubbles. And he continued. He goes with it because when he's zombified, he's Bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah. I also love Eduardo. I always loved Eduardo. I thought he was such a sweetheart because he's like so big and like scary, but he's like a fraidy cat.
Mm-hmm.
Like I loved Eduardo.
Another voice of our childhood, Tom Kenny.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was a funny episode though,
Yeah.
because like I knew that they were playing a prank on Blue. Like I knew that as an adult, like watching. I'm like, oh, it's obviously a prank. Mr. Harriman isn't dead, But I was like wondering how far they were gonna take it, and then Blue lets Mac go with all the candy, and I'm like, oh, they went too far.
I love how Blue is he just half-ass buries Mr. Harriman. It's like, oh well. And then he goes back. He takes the can with like the snake and everything. He's like, I gotta be careful who I show this to. This joke is deadly. Like, he does not care. No.
He killed someone, and he does not care.
No,
he doesn't.
Oh
man, that's so funny. Yeah, but that's like Blue's personality, like that. It's funny. It was really funny. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I Foster's Home was never like my favorite show, but I have certain episodes that I remember watching and loving, and like so it was nice to be like, oh, this was so fun, this was so funny, like I like this episode.
Do you remember It's Hot in Topeka? No,
I'm sorry, I don't.
No, that's fine.
I remember. You know what I remember? Oh God, I like chocolate milk.
Oh, cheese.
Yeah, I remember cheese, but I don't remember anything else.
Cheese was, to my knowledge, the very first meme ever.
I feel like he was, yeah.
Because I remember back in those days, the Newground days. For those who know, you know. The Newground days, it was like, the banana that they always put that they always put with this peanut butter jelly time.
Yes.
They took that banana and like it would just appear randomly and it's be like, I like cereal.
Yeah.
So I feel like cheese was the very first.
Yeah,
meme.
I feel like because that was like right when the internet was like happening and everything. So yeah, crazy.
And then regular show.
It was I like what are they supposed to be? Because there are humans in the world, but they're just like a bird and a raccoon, and then there's like a gumball machine. Like what?
No, that's really who they are.
Okay.
So it's not like they're actual people. No, that's who they are.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Mordecai's a bluebird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Do they ever kind of explain why?
Okay. Well, the thing is,
when there are like humans in the world,
they're just humans.
And there's just a talking gumball machine.
Yeah. So the whole thing is the theory is, and the only reason why this theory is out there is because the creator J.G. Quintel, he did a college project, a college film project that featured Mordecai and Benson.
Mhm.
There were humans in the short in his college film, but they took acid, and when they took acid, he became a bluebird, and the other guy became a gumball machine.
Okay.
So everyone thinks that the whole show is just on acid. It's not, but
I mean,
that's the theory.
I will say, like, there were some clever jokes in regular show, like stuff that made me like laugh. Like I
Mhm.
was, I thought the whole plot of like turning Rigby into a house just so the wizard could like throw eggs in it was very funny.
Mhm.
I did not expect the characters to die. I was like, oh, I guess we're going there.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be a scary story and it wasn't real.
Yeah. That's technically the last story. The link that I sent you,
Mhm.
it showed that first for some reason. It was all out of order.
Oh, okay.
So like Pops, so the doll was the first story,
Okay.
and then the crash pit, and then Rigby's story.
Okay.
So that's why it ends with Happy Halloween on that
Oh,
one.
okay.
Because that was supposed to be the ending.
All right. I mean, it was fine
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me, but yeah. I will say the crash pit part was my least favorite part because Mitch, was that the character's name?
Muscle Man.
His voice. Oh God, I wanted to tear my eardrums. Like when he was screaming, oh God, it was very unpleasant. Like, it was very, very unpleasant. So I didn't like that one.
I get that.
Yeah. The one with the doll was really funny because like the evil thing that he wanted to do was draw on people's faces.
Because Pops is the innocence
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah. I was like, it's clearly meant to be like a parody of like dolls that kill you, but like he just wants to draw on people's faces.
With regular show, they do this. They did it every year.
Oh, fun.
So this is Terror Tales 1.
Okay.
I think they did 5.
Oh wow.
They did
Okay.
5 of them. 5 or 6.
Yeah. Yeah, regular show, like I don't know if I necessarily like it, but it definitely like kept me entertained. Like I enjoyed it, you know.
It's definitely a big part of my childhood.
Okay.
Cause what 2010. So this was like way past. Like you're not even like watching cartoons anymore. I would imagine.
Not really at that point, no.
Yeah, regular show was really big for me.
Hey, I mean, that's great.
It was just so revolutionary at the time for me. Like watching the first episode, and they break a hole in the wall, and I will remember this to this day. Rigby goes, he was like, "All right, dude, how in the H are we gonna fix this S?" And I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Yo, on Cartoon Network." I ran to my sister. I was like, "You have to watch this show because they're saying some wild shit right now."
Wait,
Oh
did
my
they
God.
actually say the curses or they said the
They
letters?
said the letters,
Oh, how funny.
but in reruns they changed it. But first airing, bro, oh my God, and then it just kept going. But yeah, the Halloween special
Yeah.
was really good.
It really got me into the spooky mood, you know?
All of these did.
Yeah. And they're all so different. I will say that they're all so different, but they were all entertaining. Like I enjoyed watching each one, you know?
And SpongeBob, right?
Yeah, the SpongeBob episode where he's the Flying Dutchman and he literally shaves away his body so he can be the right shape of a ghost.
What a classic episode.
It really is. Look, it's the flying mattress.
And I just how he walks around Bikini Bottom and is being scared by every single thing.
Yeah.
It's like a kid, just children going down the street. La 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 la. You know?
Yeah.
When I first watched this, when it was revealed that he was just nothing but his brain and like his eyeballs,
Yeah.
I didn't find that scary.
No, I didn't either. I don't know if we were supposed to find it scary because it is a kids show. I think the creators wanted it to be kind of creepy looking and maybe like, oh, but I don't think they really intended for us to be scared by it, you know? It just everyone else in Bikini Bottom was scared.
Including the Flying Dutchman.
Including the Flying Dutchman.
Oh man, good times.
Yeah. I like that Sandy is a goldfish in a bowl and no one gets it.
She just walks away side eyeing everybody.
Yeah. I also love Gary, where is your Halloween spirit? And Gary like barks.
Oh man. Good times, bro.
I love this time of year. I love Halloween, and I love the creativity that we got as kids with our Halloween specials. Like they
Hmm.
really like put a lot of love and care into those Halloween specials and making them kind of spooky and creepy and silly and fun. And I just appreciate that. And the fact that we are watching them now as adults and still enjoying them, I think speaks a lot to their quality.
Any funny Halloween memories that you have, like going trick or treating or anything?
Um so I have a Halloween memory, and this is not necessarily trick or treating, but it involves I used to work at a theme park, and I won't say which one, but I used to work at a theme park, and I actually worked on the haunted house ride.
Hmm.
And on Halloween they let us dress up for work as long as it was like appropriate. So I put my costume together in like 2 days. I was so proud of myself because it was like I didn't really have time. I didn't even think I was working that day, but it turns out I was. So I was a cat burglar. So what I did was I wore like black leggings and a black turtleneck, and then I had this black and white striped dress to look like a burglar.
Hmm.
And then I got a cat, like a cat eye mask and cat ears, and I was a cat burglar. Like I drew whiskers and
Right.
stuff, and like there was this little girl who like came onto the haunted house ride, and the haunted house ride was not scary, but like this little girl came on and she was like really scared. She was like, I don't know, am I gonna like it? I'm gonna be scared. And I was like, I think you're gonna be so brave. I think you're gonna go in there and you're gonna be like, ha ha ha, at all the ghosts. Can you do that for me? Ha ha ha. And she was like, ha ha ha. And I was like, there you go. Now you won't be scared of anything. You just do that at every scary thing you see. And like she goes in, she comes out, she's like, it worked. I wasn't scared. I went ha 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 to every ghost.
Aw,
And I was like, well, I'm glad. Here's some candy. Happy Halloween.
that's so sweet.
Yeah, she was really cute. She was like dressed as like some Disney princess. I think she was like, might have been like Rapunzel
Hmm.
at the time. And then I have really, really fond memories of Halloween in college because, you know, I did a lot of stuff with that. So one Halloween in college, I was supposed to be a group costume with a bunch of my friends, which never works. Never do a group costume. It never works. We were supposed to do like the 7 deadly sins, whatever. And they all pulled out basically. And so I was like, I have 4 hours to make a costume for this party because I was like lazy and busy and I didn't have time to like put together my like. I think I was supposed to be Sloth. I was gonna like wear like a nightgown and stuff. So I put together a costume and I'm honestly really proud of the costume and I might try to do it again someday.
Hmm.
I was a walk of shame.
Hmm.
So I put on a pair of tights and I ripped them and I put on like my party dress, like my going out dress, which was like a really, really tight. It was actually the same black and white dress that I wore as my robber because it was like a very, very tight body, like figure hugging dress. So I wore that and then I did all my makeup and then I just smeared it all over my face. I put my hair in like a messy top knot and then I got a man's flannel shirt that I like. It was actually like something that I had in my closet. I just had like a men's size flannel and I buttoned it wrong and I like pushed one sleeve up and left one sleeve down and I like I drew like hickeys on my neck and on my chest and I was like a walk of shame.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went in.
Yeah, and funny story, someone else at that party, a good friend of mine, dressed up as a frat boy. So like we were like a couple's costume without even realizing it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then another year for Halloween, I was Sam Winchester from Supernatural. And so I drew sideburns on my face and I gave myself like some stubble and I wore like a flannel and like a jacket over it. And the funniest thing is that I was Sam and my friend was Dean, and she's got to be like 5'10", and I'm 5 feet tall, so it was like a
Big
real
idea.
big difference. Which, if you know Supernatural, that's even funnier because Sam is like 6'4", and Dean is tall too, but Dean's like 5'10", so there's like
That big ass difference.
yeah, it was really funny. And then what else did I do for Halloween? One year for Halloween, I dressed up as Kitty Pryde from the X-Men.
Hmm.
And that was fun because it was like a 3-day weekend, like Halloween fell on a weekend. So I technically had 3 costumes. My first costume was I dressed up as one of my professors with the rest of the theater department. So all the seniors, because this was my senior year, all the seniors dressed up as one of the teachers from our department. So like I dressed up as Professor Varga, who was a costume design professor. She was also my guidance counselor. So I like curled my hair because she had these beautiful like sausage curls. So I curled my hair and I wore like, no one's gonna get the reference, but like I wore like a pencil skirt and a cardigan and I looked just like her. And like everybody else was like dressed like our professors and they got a big kick out of it. And then so that was like the first costume. And the second costume was Kitty Pryde hipster. Because that was really big then, hipster stuff. So I basically wore, if I'm remembering right, I wore a black dress with a yellow cardigan, a red belt, and then I had like a purple beanie, and that was like Kitty Pryde hipster style. And then I dressed up as actual Kitty Pryde, like for the party. Like my friend made me the yellow like V costume, and I had like a black turtleneck and black leggings and everything. And I had a little dragon. I had a little oh, what was the dragon's name? What is Kitty Pryde's Lockheed, I think is the dragon's name. I had a little Lockheed as well. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you did a lot.
I've always loved Halloween. And I've always loved dressing up. Yeah.
I have nothing. Well, one, because during Halloween we get all this candy at school.
Yeah.
This elementary school, and I got like a bunch of candy. So I'm going home with all this candy. I'm happy, right? Tell me why. There are people knocking on our door for trick or treating. Mind you, this never happened before. Like we never had anyone come to our house to trick or treat.
Really?
Yeah, but for some reason this year, everybody wants to come to our house. So my grandma, God rest her soul, she takes my candy.
Oh no.
Because we don't necessarily celebrate Halloween. At least my family doesn't, right? So it's not like we go out and we buy candy. So, but my grandma, she wasn't even from here, bro. She's from Haiti. So why does she even know this? But she knew this. So kids came knocking at the door. She doesn't speak a lick of English, but they're saying trick or treat, and she's just like, oh, not really know what to say. Oh, so she grabs my candy.
Oh no.
When I tell you, I didn't have any of my candy that year.
Oh.
Because I guess it was a good thing. Everything happens for a reason, because like had we not had that candy, then people would be knocking at our door for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
But
Aw.
yeah, my grandma was a very giving person, so good on her. But I was tight
Yeah.
because I had no candy. You definitely had better Halloweens than I.
One thing that I think is so interesting, going back to the episodes, the episodes make it seem like if you don't have a good costume, you won't get candy, which has never, ever been a thing. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone being denied candy because their costume was like maybe kind of homemade looking or not that great. Like, what kind of person doesn't give a kid candy on Halloween? Like, a monster. That's who. Like, how appropriate. But like, it happens in the Fairly Odd Parents. It happens in Jimmy Neutron. They mention it. It happens in
Codename Kids Next Door.
Codename Kids Next Door, that like you have to have a good costume or you won't get candy, which is so not true. Like with my family, I'm the kind of person, like, if you just show up with like a Halloween shirt, I'll give you candy. Like, it's Halloween. Who cares? Take 2 pieces of candy. What do I care? Like, that's why I bought it. Like, so I don't know where that idea came from, that if you don't have a good costume, you won't get candy.
I mean, Mordecai actually went against it in the house episode where he just went as a dad, and it like
that is so clever. Can I just say, I love that he had like 2 pipes.
Like, one pipe is for what? And
yeah, because it makes him look like a dad. Dads have 2 pipes, I guess. I don't know. I thought that was so funny though. That's such a clever costume, actually. Like,
and Ripley is the one that points out like, Halloween is like to look cool and everything, and Mordecai's like, no, it's just to get candy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I got 5 times candy. Oh my god, I love how the tape recorder like busts, and she's like, "Are those even real kids?" And he just like runs off.
Running away. This was a fun little treat for me to like watch all these Halloween episodes during the spooky season and everything.
Mm-hmm. You know what's a little, I think people will find weird? I don't watch Coraline for Halloween. I watch it like in mid-November because it's an autumn movie for me. It's not Halloween.
I mean, I could definitely see that. It definitely it's not specifically Halloween in any particular way. It's definitely like an autumn thing, like kind of like Over the Garden Wall. It's not Halloween, but it's
Right.
autumn. I mean, part of the episode takes place on Halloween, but I don't know if it's like super Halloween. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed this spooky Halloween themed episode. We will be back next week with our like regularly scheduled programming. I think are we getting back into Avatar?
We are getting back to
We are getting back into Avatar.
Book 2.
Book 2. So stick around for that. Thank you so much for all your support. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything else?
And beware. Check your candy, kids. Check.
That is such bullshit. Like
Like-
every year they're like, oh, people are putting like drugs in the candy. No self-respecting person is gonna give your 5-year-old acid. Like, they're not gonna waste acid they bought for your 5-year-old. Like, no one's gonna do that. Do you know how expensive drugs are? They are not cheap. I'm not wasting my weed on your 5-year-old. Like, who's doing that? No one is doing that. No one's putting razor blades in the candy. No one's putting drugs in the candy. No one's giving out edibles. Like, obviously, check your candy, because if it's open, it might be just dirty in general.
Right.
And like, considering the world right now, don't eat any candy that's like open. Like, only eat it if it's sealed. But like, don't worry about all that stuff. Like, that's ridiculous. No one's doing that.
All right, words. Words from. Damn, I forgot the character's name already.
Mavis.
I was about to say Mabel, but
No, Mavis from Hotel Transylvania.
you were gonna be Mabel though.
I was considering it. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
All right. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Boom. Happy Halloween.